Motorcycle camping trips feed something deep inside me. The freedom, the solitude, carrying everything I need, and just being out in nature for days on end. I'd planned this trip as a return to a special place that had lived in my memory for 31 years. For me, Big Bend was a place of incredible beauty and raw adventure. But before I was to leave, my father-in-law became ill and died very suddenly, and everything paused. In time, the draw towards Big Bend took on a new meaning for me. It wasn't just an exciting and beautiful place to ride, but it offered something I needed: space, quiet, room to process. The first time I went was 1995. I was studying architecture at Kansas State and joined a student organization that planned and led outdoor trips. I was paired with another student named Jeff, and together we planned and led a spring break rafting trip down the Rio Grande through a deep canyon that straddles the border. It was just Jeff and me, responsible for a group of about a dozen people, mostly strangers, in a remote, vast, and unforgiving desert. I clearly remember the knot in my stomach as we struggled to get our cars along a very rough desert road to access the river. Not sure if we were lost at times and fearing that we might get stranded. It ended up being one of the best trips of my life, in part because of the uncertainty and challenges we faced and overcame along the way. After 16 hours of driving, stopping to spend the night in my car along the way, I pulled into Alpine, Texas, where I planned to unload my bike and start my adventure. What happened next was not part of those plans. I pull into the parking spot where I'm going to leave my car, and I try to start my car again to move it. It won't go. So I got all the way here, only to have my car break down right at my final destination. After some research and a ride to an auto parts store, hoping it was my battery, it still wouldn't start. I found another potential fix, but the part wouldn't be available until the next day. So I ordered it and started the 80-mile ride south to Big Bend. I'd just have to wait until I returned at the end of the week to find out if it was the fix that would get me home. I rode toward Big Bend with the uncertainty of what awaited me back in Alpine hanging over me like a weight I'd be carrying through the days ahead. As I climbed the Chisos Basin Road up into the mountains, it looked so different from anything I remembered. In a way that felt like a gift, like I was seeing it for the very first time, with all the wonder and surprise that comes with discovering somewhere new. Worked my way back and picked up Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive, a beautiful stretch of smooth pavement that carries you all the way down to the Rio Grande. I realized as I rode, the thought of my broken down car back in Alpine had barely crossed my mind. That weight I feared would put a damper on everything ahead was already starting to lessen, more and more with each mile. I had just a few minutes to stop at Santa Elena Canyon and admire it from a distance, the sun just peeking through. I had stood in this same place 31 years ago, not just at the mouth of this canyon, but experiencing the exact same emotions, the wonder, the beauty, the excitement, all mixed in with a slight nervousness about the adventures that lay ahead.